Before I get into the video, I just want to address one main point right now that I made in the previous video, and if you haven't seen my last video, I'd recommend checking it out. But in that video, I mentioned how scummy it is that Blizzard is locking all of the content for the Witch Kiriko bundle from being bought individually. They made it now so that any items in a bundle can be bought individually, which makes the Witch Kiriko skin $20, but I still don't think that's worth it in my opinion, just like every other skin, but that's an overall issue with Blizzard needing to restructure their prices. I'm sure they also did it not only because of how much it upset their player base, but also because it actually is illegal to try and sell an artificial discount in some countries, such as Brazil and Australia, without allowing each skin to be sold before at a higher, non-discounted price. Clearly the lawsuits were going to be coming in, and they had to act quickly to avoid any of that. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up before I continue the video, where I'll also touch on some other previous topics I brought up, but more in depth. Now, to the video. Overwatch 2 is supposed to be the successor to Overwatch 1 with two major changes done to the original system. Teams have been reduced from 6 players to 5, removing a tank so now there is only one main tank on each team, and adding role-specific passives where all tanks now have less knockback and receive less ultimate charge by healing and damage received, damage heroes gaining temporary increased movement and reload speed after an elimination, and all supports now healing passively over time. Other than those core changes, there's the addition of 3 new heroes being Junker Queen, Sojourn, and Kiriko, a new game mode which is called Push where both teams are fighting to push a payload farther than the other, 6 new maps, and some character reworks like Doomfist now being a tank, tanks getting some buffs to better suit the lone tank role, and most stuns being removed from the game. Now, these are the main changes that Overwatch 2 likes to advertise as to justify the need to kill off Overwatch 1 and remake the whole game as a free-to-play live service game. But damn, does this game feel more like a downgrade than an upgrade. Let's start out with the Battle Pass, because now with all other forms of rewards being removed from the game, other than small items like sprays, charms, player icons, and voice lines you can get from challenges, you're only getting new items like skins, emotes, highlight intros, and victory poses for your heroes if you either buy them directly or buy the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is now supposed to be the biggest bang for your buck purchase with big quotation marks, as with the first Battle Pass, which the theme is supposed to be cyberpunk by the way, it costs $10 and you're getting 9 skins, where some of them are actually pretty nice looking. I think the legendary skins all look well done and on theme except for maybe the Miko skin for Mercy not really being cyberpunk, but at least it follows the theme of Japanese culture, which with Kiriko being the new hero in the Battle Pass and with the Cyber Demon Genji skin being the big item you're striving for, it makes sense. But then you have this skin for Sojourn, which clearly is the outlier here. Yeah, I think it looks okay, but why this? It doesn't go at all with the theme, and it just seems so random to be in a cyberpunk themed Battle Pass. I thought, why didn't they make a cyberpunk skin for her and just add it? Well, they did make a cyberpunk themed skin for her, and it literally has the word cyber in the name, but the reason why they didn't add it to the Battle Pass? Money. They decided that instead of just having it in the Battle Pass, they can charge people $20 for the skin because she's a new hero, so a lot of people are going to want to play her and get new stuff for her. Just throw in a random skin for her in the Battle Pass that looks worse, and make people want to pay the $20 for the actual cyberpunk themed cool looking skin. Sure, the epic skins are not cyberpunk themed either, and the Winston one is military themed as well, but for what is going to be the first legendary skin most people are going to unlock first for Sojourn is some random military skin, as well as there being an actual cyberpunk themed skin in the game, but having to pay for it is just, ugh. It's not cool to feel like they're trying to just upcharge you for something that should have just been in the Battle Pass in the first place. Now, there's 4 emotes in the Battle Pass as well, and I personally like them all. It's not like Overwatch 2 caused the quality of cosmetics and such to go down, but the Junkrat one. This one is the one that I have an issue with, because for your first Battle Pass, the first impression of your new model to monetize the game has a reused asset, or it's just a victory pose repurposed to an emote. You're making people pay for reused assets and even making them pay beyond the Battle Pass for things that should have just been in it to begin with, as it's a bad first look when you can clearly see their intentions. The Battle Pass also has 8 victory poses and 4 highlight intros, which there isn't anything wrong with them, but other than those actual items people care about, the rest of the Battle Pass is filled with filler items such as the new souvenirs, weapon charms, and name cards added to Overwatch 2, and a bunch of player icons, sprays, and voice lines. Now, you might have noticed a big item missing from the Battle Pass as well, and that's the premium currency. Why is there no premium currency given in a game like this? The giants that really popularized Battle Passes like Fortnite and Apex have had it so that if you spend that much time grinding and playing the game, you will eventually get enough to at least buy the next season's Battle Pass, as it retains a consistent player base and gives something to also work towards, other than the usual final item that they want you to be seeking. Which brings up another point. The Battle Pass is too limited in what it gives you. Overwatch 2 currently has 34 heroes in the game, with another hero on the way, and with such a big roster, as well as specific roles, you realize that there's going to be people who never play a certain role. So why would someone care to buy a battle pass where the end reward is a mythic skin for someone you never will play? Maybe if you were getting some premium currency throughout the pass, it would make people be willing to buy it and grind it out. But why would someone who plays support ever care about a Genji skin? This isn't only limited to the mythic, as I'm sure a lot of people are going to question buying the battle pass because they just don't see anything for the characters they actually play. If they would implement a system where you get a sort of free legend of your choosing, I'm sure it would help make the battle pass more worth it. Though, the biggest issue with the battle pass over everything else has to be that new heroes are locked behind tier 55 of the battle pass before you unlock them. I played the game like a full-time job the past month, playing the game every day, and even with the 20% XP boost you get from the battle pass, it took me around a couple weeks of grinding to get to tier 55. The average player isn't going to be playing that much, so expect the grind to take 2 to 3 times longer than that. Go ahead and do what you want with the cosmetics, as it doesn't affect gameplay, but locking new heroes behind either grinding the game like it's your job or coughing up the $10 for access to the hero right away is garbage. They're really using that fear of missing out on people to pressure them to buy the battle pass just to be able to play heroes. And I know games like Rainbow Six Siege and Apex have a similar system in place, which I disagree with as well, but what makes Overwatch 2 different is that it wasn't always like this. In Overwatch 1, you had all heroes for free always, and in a game like Overwatch where it heavily relies on counters, if you don't have that one hero you need to counter another, you're going to be at a significant disadvantage. The Battle Pass really needs that premium currency in there to make it more worth it for the grind, and to add some system that lets you choose your rewards for at least the skins, because right now, it's completely unrewarding to grind it all out just to have to pay for the next one, and not even getting a skin for heroes you actually use. Hero unlocking as well should just be removed entirely, as it has no place in a game like Overwatch, and games like Fortnite show you can make a ton of money by just selling cosmetics, so there's no need to be so aggressive about trying to profit from the game. Now, that's just the battle pass, which can be considered completely optional as you can still get heroes for free by grinding, and all the other content in the battle pass is just cosmetic and doesn't really affect gameplay, but what about the gameplay of Overwatch 2? Overwatch 2 feels the most like a big downgrade from Overwatch 1 due to the gameplay, as now it feels as if there's nothing to really work towards in Overwatch 2 and to keep you playing. Matches now feel way more easily steamrolled, so you'll have to suffer through that while playing. Shields are sparsely used now since there's only one tank, and most people aren't playing Reinhardt or Sigma anymore, so you end up with the situation now where support is the worst role to play. I swear, all Q should just be called support 2 since 90% of the placements you're going to get are going to be in support. Support is horrible right now since they can't really fend for themselves, especially in the new game mode since it's so open, and unless you're playing Moira or Lucio, good luck since Widow, Sombra, or Genji will just go back there and kill you. Healing your teammates feels like a challenge too, since Overwatch 2 just makes your team play less grouped, and more divey as most tanks are throwing themselves into the fight. Even if you are doing great in a game, there's no more medals either to let you know if you're doing good on your team, and they even removed the on fire animation for if you did a good play. Your character will still react and will say something, but other than that, you're not going to know or anyone else will unless you get play of the game. They even got rid of the endorsements page for after a match ends where you can't even endorse the enemy team for some reason. You can still endorse your team, but I forget most of the time anyway since it feels like such an afterthought because once your play of the game is done, you go straight to seeing your battle pass level going up. Account levels are gone now too, so there's nothing to show for the amount of time you've played the game. What was the point of removing these features? You can't use the "it promoted toxicity" excuse because Overwatch 2 has felt more toxic than Overwatch 1 has ever been, for me at least. You can't just remove features in what is supposed to be an improvement on the original game and not even try and replace them with something else. Earlier, I mentioned how you can only get items like skins now by paying for them, but there is actually another way that technically lets you get them by playing. You have your weekly challenges, and if you do all of them, you get a whopping 60 coins for your grind. With every legendary skin costing 1900 coins, that means it's only going to take you, 32 weeks of doing every weekly to get one skin. 34 heroes, and you get 1.5 legendary skins a year, and that's if you do every single weekly. How about instead of a measly 100 battle pass XP for doing all Q, just give me some coins? Or, I know it's ridiculous for me to even be asking for them, but bring back loot boxes, bring back the level system, and just do what Apex does and let you get loot boxes for leveling up and in events. I can't believe Blizzard really has me asking for loot boxes and making EA look like a better company, but they've made such an unrewarding, grindy system for Overwatch 2 that loot boxes are actually better than what they're doing now. If they were able to make money selling Overwatch 1 for $20 with optional loot boxes, there's no need to be this greedy with Overwatch 2. The crazy thing is, even after all of my critique of the game, I actually enjoyed my time playing the game. Most of the time. When I wasn't getting steamrolled by the other team, I was actually having fun in the game. But when you're playing the game so much and seeing so little for the time you put in, it eventually makes you feel like there's no point to keep playing or no real goal to work towards. Once I finish my weekly and dailies, it feels like there's no reason to keep playing, and now with my battle pass done, I don't care about battle pass XP anymore, so I haven't even touched the game since then. All of my friends even moved on at the same point since there's nothing to work towards, and even rank doesn't feel fun to play since the weird system of having to get 7 wins before even seeing any change in your rank, and just seeing a number go up or down 1 feels like your performance doesn't matter much. It's as simple as bringing back the old features they removed from the game that made it feel rewarding and gave something more to work towards. And yes, bring back loot boxes too, and just tie them with the new level system so people can still naturally earn items like skins. Also, don't make it a grind to earn heroes, that's just dumb. Let them be unlocked and just sell cosmetics. I said it in the last video and I'll say it again. Vote with your wallet, as supporting this by giving them money only lets them get away with doing such backwards and anti-consumer decisions. Anywho, that's my whole take on the situation, and should be my last Overwatch 2 video unless something really crazy or drastic happens. If you liked the video, consider giving it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, as the support definitely helps. Maybe next time I'll talk about, I don't know, Twitter blowing up or something right now.